Hey guys, Aaron CybertronVGC here, and today we are back for some more Series 7 action. I wanted to try out a brand new team featuring some of the duels that we've been seeing a little bit earlier on in the format. Obviously, when Galarian Weezing came out, everyone immediately thought, how do I use this Pokemon? And, everyone was like, man, if Regigigas was in the format, this seems like a really crazy combo. So, I don't think this is broken by any means. In fact, I think it's relatively easy to beat, but I did want to try out Galarian Weezing plus Regigigas. So, obviously, with Neutralizing Gas, you can shut down Regigigas' slow start, and that allows you to be super fast and offensive right from the start. So, I'm using a Life Orb set with 4 attacks. The reason I have 4 attacks here is because I don't think I'd really be protecting in most positions anyway. Kind of want to just go on the offense and get as much damage off with this as possible. So Giga Impact is obviously super powerful. Base 150 max strike from 160 base attack Pokemon is just nuts. I mean, it one-shots basically anything that doesn't resist it and anything that's not Dynamaxed. So that is the first duo here. I'm running Will-O-Wisp just because obviously the format is super physically oriented, and I've got the Babiri Berry to help against steel types like Metagross, and so I can burn them. As you can see, I'm actually running a lot of speed investment, and this outspeeds the most common Metagross, which I believe has 100 speed EVs or so. And the reason I want to outspeed that is because Metagross is just so much weaker if it's burnt right from the start. So that's the combo here between Weezing and Regigigas. I'm also using Blacelphalon and the Coalossal. What's interesting though is that I think this Coalossal can be used more as a non-Dynamax Pokemon. Obviously we're used to seeing Gigantamax Coalossal, but one cool thing I can do with this is lead Blacephalon Coalossal and just go Mind Blown into Heat Wave. This also helps against like potential Trick Room setups. I was running into a bunch of Trick Room users, and initially I had things like Assault Vest and even like Power on Coalossal, but I was like, I kind of want to get a lot of damage right away. I'm still going to be running like Solar Beam just for the option of potentially Dynamaxing, because obviously Max Overgrowth is still pretty good, and I can, like the most common water type right now is Tapu Fini. Coalossal, even without an item and a policy, can still fare against Tapu Fini. So this lead also really helps out against a lot of the fake out users right now. Like if you think about what people are using, Incineroar, Rillaboom, for example. Well, if I lead Blacephalon on Coalossal, you're not going to want to fake out Coalossal because you're assuming that's going to Dynamax, so normally it's a super free Mind Blown into a Heat Wave turn 1. To round out the team, I'm using Black Glasses Urshifu. The reason I'm using this is because Wicked Blow with Black Glasses is a guaranteed KO onto Metagross, which I think is one of the biggest threats in the format right now, and it is a pretty tough Pokemon to answer. But I do have a lot of anti-Metagross stuff with this team. As you can see, I can burn with the Weezing, I can crit Wicked Blow. That's onto regular Metagross, by the way, so it'd do around over 50% to a Dynamax Metagross. And then to round out the team, like I mentioned, Blacephalon, Coalossal, double fire here to deal with Metagross as well. And then finally, Tapu Fini. I've kind of thrown Tapu Fini onto every team thus far just because it kind of slots very nicely as, the last Pokemon. And, bulky water Pokemon can give us some trouble, so Tapu Fini can Calm Mind in front of those and set up. So, yeah, I don't know how this team is really going to fare, but I do think that some of these duos are actually very valuable. And I wanted to just try both for now. The thing about Weezing Regigigas plus Blacephalon Coalossal is that your opponent has to respect either combination. It's kind of tough to lead, I think, have a definitive lead that beats both of these super, super hard. So depending on team preview, I can probably just go with one and then go from there. Okay, first opponent here, there's a Spectrier, which is pretty cool. I see no fire resists here, so I think this actually might just be a Blacephalon Coalossal game where I just Mind Blow Heat Wave. I don't see how my opponent stops that, to be honest. We could, and then the question is, who do I want to Dynamax? Because, like, Reggie is probably the best max option here. So I could just go Weezing Regigigas as the last two. I'm kind of down for that. Let's try it out. Let's go with both of our duos here and see how things play out. In terms of what Pokemon I think is slept on, by the way, right now, I don't know if I have any really, really good answers here. I saw that Swampert actually was able to get #1 on Showdown. And so that might be a Pokemon, because I have to admit it wasn't even really on my radar at all. So that's something I'm interested in. But there is obviously so many different Pokemon that are super viable, especially early on in the format. So yeah. But part of the reason, by the way, that I wanted to use Coalossal Blacephalon is because I feel like fire is really valuable in this format, especially when you think about some of the biggest threats. You've got a lot of steel types like Metagross, like Hartana, which my opponent has, as well as stuff like Celesteela, for example. And so having a fire type against those is really valuable. And then also, if you think about what one of the strongest Dynamax threats in the format are, I mean, Metagross is one of them, but Glastrier is also another. Okay, so it's going to be Lando and Spectrier. Unless you're Scarf here, I should just be able to outspeed and go Mind Blown Heat Wave turn 1. So let's just go for that. I'd be surprised to see Scarf Spectrier. Like, what would you use that to outspeed? I mean, I guess it outspeeds the majority of the format, but I feel like we should be good here, and then that enables Coalossal Steam Engine immediately. Even if one of these two I mean, I don't think this Dynamaxes, I would think Landorus Dynamaxes. Like, we have the Regigigas win con in the late game, which is super nice. So, let's see. Okay, they are going to Dynamax Landorus, that's fine. So we get the Mind Blown off. Oh my goodness, look how much damage that does. It's Citrus, okay, that's interesting. Oh, we actually don't knock out either. Bulldoze. That's interesting, okay. Well, so that's the natural speed control, right? Like, my opponent's way of shutting me down is bulldozing. So we do get a kind of a lucky burn there. Pick up the knockout there. But I think we are in very good shape right now. I can just go into Weezing, Mind Blown, and Protect. Yeah. I'm actually kind of impressed that both Pokemon survived there, to be honest. But because we're Scarfed, we should still outspeed Landorus, so I can just Mind Blow into Protect. That gives me the free switch into Regigigas. And once Reggie is in, we can Dynamax the Reggie, and it should be able to just sweep through everything. So, yeah, we got lucky, really lucky this turn. I mean, the crit didn't end up mattering on Landorus, right? Because another Mind Blow should pick up the knockout. Nice. Okay. Oh my, it just does so much damage. Like, Expanding Force comes out. I get the Reggie in. Kartana comes out. Okay. So because of Abiri, we should be good here. I'm going to Dynamax, Max Strike, which should KO, maybe even through Protect, and lowers the speed, and then we can just Will-O-Wisp Kartana. So I think we should be good here. But this duo kind of just... Ooh, Helping Hand. Okay. But they go for Sacred Sword. Yeah, that's not going to be enough to KO. We get the speed drop. I will lose, actually, if they, like... Actually, is there any way for them to even KO us here? I mean... The thing is, because I don't have anything other than Sludge Bomb on Weezing. But I can also Protect Stall, right? So what's our best option here? I think it's Hailstorm, because that sets up the Hail and Taunt. Yeah, okay. So with Hail and Burn damage, this should go down now. They're going to Sacred Sword, but yeah, with the Burn, it's not going to come close to KOing. So we get the Taunt off. And the nice thing about having Babiri here is I don't have to feel bad about protecting Weezing at any point. I can just attack. So that was as perfect of a first game as we could have really asked for, but obviously we did get a little lucky with the burn to knock out the Spectrier immediately. Because if we don't get that burn, then Spectrier does outspeed Blacephalon in the next turn. So I was kind of impressed that I was able to hang on from that double up turn 1, because I am just modest max on both of these Pokemon, but yeah. Alright, so this is a classic Trick Room team, but there's Venusaur, so Trick Room Sun. It's like the new version of Trick Room Sun, basically, right? So I could just go Blacephalon Coalossal because Mind Blown into Heat Wave. Once again, no fire resists on this team. And I think that's okay. What's interesting is that Venusaur comes out. I don't know why I said Venusaur so weirdly like that. I do kind of want Urshifu here in the back, but I think Weezing Regigigas could totally work as well. Feeny actually into Sun is very, very good. So what I'm worried about is if I lead Blacephalon Coalossal, my opponent could lead like Venusaur plus something else, and then switch into Torkoal turn 1. So the question is whether I want to bring Weezing or not. All of my Pokemon are pretty good here. Feeny and Sun feels very good, especially if I get a Calm Mind up. So I kind of feel like I need to bring that. Urshifu with the crits are really nice here. You're never really bringing Regigigas if you don't bring Weezing, so it's between Weezing and Urshifu now is the last one. Let's go with Weezing. I feel more comfortable with that. The problem is that it doesn't do much damage into my opponent's team, but I do have Will-O-Wisp into 2 of these, and Tapu Fini can actually be the carry of this game, because if I burn these and I get a Calm Mind off, like, I can just sweep through everything. So we'll see how they counter our lead. I'd love to see, for example, just Indeedee plus the Hat or Indeedee plus the Stack Attacker. Nice, they go Indeedee Hat. Okay, I don't know if Mind Blow into Heat Wave is a KO here. If not, then maybe this is bad, but if it's KO, we just kind of win turn 1. So let's find out. Specs Heat Wave. Modest Max Mind Blown. This will be a good calc to know one way or the other. If this doesn't KO, I then need to create a better answer against Follow Me Trick Room setups. And I gotta give some thought. Oh, they actually Dynamax though. Okay, interesting. And Protect. Whoa, I didn't expect that. That is super interesting. Okay, it looks like it would have been a KO if they didn't go for that. So, nice decision to max. Definitely didn't see that coming. And they actually just Mindstorm into Cole. Okay. I think I'm okay with that trade-off, though. because I get Tapu Fini in, and I can just go Mind Blown into Calm Mind right now. The only problem is that I think Weezing is really useless for us. I'd much rather have Urshifu in this endgame. But that was my opponent just making like a better turn 1 play. I don't regret my play there though, because it did confirm that it was enough damage to knock out Hat. And I feel like most people in that position would be, you'd want to just go for a Follow Me and Trick Room, because I think without the specs, I don't pick up the knockout onto Hatterene. So nice heads up play by my opponent there. Let's see, Mind Blown did around 40% to Hat, so that should pick up the knockout. We're going to faint, but that's okay. I get the free switch into Weezing. Weezing canceling abilities is pretty good, but what I'm fearing is Torkoal Venu in the back, and I think that's most likely what my opponent has. Ooh, they actually max guard. Okay. Maybe I did a little bit of too much damage to myself there. We get a Calm Mind off. Expanding Force comes out. Okay. I bring Weezing out. I think it's got to be Protect Dazzle here, honestly. Actually, I don't know if that KOs the Hatterene. I might have to Muddy Water here instead. Yeah, a really good decision to max the Hat here. I think, like, how could I play this differently? Because I did go all in on that turn 1 play. Okay, they go for Follow Me finally. Go for Muddy Water, pick up the double knockout. Okay, nice. But this is what I mean. If I had an Urshifu here instead, there's Torkoal. Should be... Ooh, it's Glastrier. But I can't burn you because I put up my own terrain. Well, that is slightly unfortunate. But maybe that's fine, because what's Torkoal going to do against us right now, right? I think I am just going to... I didn't need to Protect there. Why did I Protect there? That was useless. That was actually a big waste of a Protect, because if I didn't Protect, I could have just Geysered. Like, now I might just get Max Quaked as a KO. But I think Sludge Bomb, Dynamax, Geyser into another Geyser KOs this thing. Wait. Oh, they already Dynamax, right. I forgot like we still have the Dynamax advantage. Okay, well then High Horsepower won't knock us out. Nice. And Heat Wave in Rain isn't doing anything. Wait, I totally forgot that they committed their Dynamax this early on, so we are good. That is one of the upsides of stalling out your Dynamax, or waiting to Dynamax later on in the match. I think if they had Venusaur, though, this would have been a really, really different match. And I know some of you are probably going to be like, why are you running Will-O-Wisp when you have Tapu Fini? The reality is that, like, Weezing and Regigigas is a common lead, or at least in theory. So if I go with that combination, then, yeah, I'm going to want Will-O-Wisp right from the start. Okay, so I think Fire Spam does not, is not as strong this time around. Obviously, there's a Fini, a Gigalith, and a Marowak. So I'm actually leaning towards just Weezing Regigigas here. Because I have Taunt on this thing as well, so I can Taunt. Regi outspeeds everything here, actually. It does a ton of damage, so I think I like that. And in the back, I really like Urshifu. And I think Fini into Gigalith, Marowak. Yeah, I think all of that's pretty good. So, let's see. Okay, it's going to be Rotom and Dusclops. That's fine. I have to worry about potential ally switch here and Will-O-Wisp from that. But I don't mind going Taunt into Dusclops, turn 1, Dynamax, and... let's Hailstorm here, because it at least covers slightly for the ally switch option. I'm just worried about this ally switching. They don't ally switch, though. Nice. Oh, it's Sash Tom. Oof. That might not be good. It's probably a Will-O-Wisp coming up then. Ah. Wow, I have never seen Sash Motom before. That's a first. Okay, well, that's not great. Like, the thing is, if it's not Sash there, most Rotoms are, like, what, Specs or Citrus or whatever, we would be in really good shape. But because I have Will-O-Wisp, honestly, I don't even feel that bad. Because, like, I can just Will-O-Wisp the Gigalith right now and max Darkness the Dusclops. This probably switches out, actually. But who would you have in the back? Maybe Fini? I don't want to proc a Policy here, though. Okay, so they just burn a Protect. Decent damage from max Darkness. Nice. Okay. Now you're really going to want to switch out the Gigalith, I think. Brick Break comes out, which isn't surprising. It's going to be Brick Break into Self Policy, obviously. But I think Will-O-Wisp into that is still pretty safe. The more Spadef drops, the better, because then Fini's Muddy Waters do more as well. And I want this thing to stay in right now, so I'm actually just going to go for the same play. I mean, surely you switch out here, right? And I would think you have one of these three in the back. So I could Sludge Bomb this slot instead. You know what, let's go for that, because there's no way you stay in with Gigalith knowing that I have Will-O-Wisp and Max Darkness. Yeah, there's Marowak. Okay, nice. So we get more free damage here. It's not much, but I'll take it. Brick Break just comes out again, but that's fine. You can see that Regigigas has pinned my opponent, right? Because they never wanted to switch Dusclops out. Taunt wears off. That's fine. I've got Urshifu Feeny in the back. And Weezing being able to Will-O-Wisp is obviously a big deal. I think the best play here is to Protect and Darkest Lariat into Dusclops for a knockout. Oh, they switch out into Gigalith. Okay, interesting. As Marowak detects. Huh, okay. I like that play a lot, actually, because now my opponent does have the potential to... Maybe you can just Boomerang into Weezing. Because I really want to burn this thing, right? Like, if we burn this thing, we should win. The other play I'm leaning towards here is doubling up into Marowak. I find my opponent, I'm Dynamaxing Marowak and, like, Quaking into the Weezing. But I guess having Urshifu in this endgame is pretty good insurance as well. So I'm just going to opt for Will-O-Wisp onto the Gigalith and go for a Darkest Lariat into Marowak. Okay, they do switch back out into Dusclops. That's fine. Marowak commits the Dynamax. That's also fine because I have Feeny and Urshifu in the back, and Urshifu with Wicked Blow should be able to just beat this now. Max Flare. That's interesting. Okay. So Slow Start finally activates, but that's fine. Because I can just go into Urshifu now. And with Black Glasses, Wicked Blow into Marowak, Darkest Lariat into Dusclops. Now, we're burnt and Slow Start is activated, but yeah, we're good. This team has actually worked out a lot better than I expected it to. I'm happy. I spent a while theorying like what could work, and I think a lot of the early meta teams I'm using, like the entire team, it's not like the whole team is going to be good, but I do think there are elements like you may want to adapt. Like, I think, for example, some way to boost Urshifu's attack, whether it be Black Glasses, Life Orb, Band, or Expert Belt is valuable because it allows you to one-shot Metagross. Unfortunately, we have actually have not gone up against a Metagross today yet, but... Okay, we lost against Pheromosa yesterday. Pheromosa with a potential fighting type attack into Regi is slightly scary. I could go Blacephalon Cole here. I mean, they do have dual Fake Out, which makes me more inclined to go Blacephalon Cole. And I could just go Weezing Regi in the back. This could be an interesting Dynamax Urshifu or Gigantamax Urshifu game, actually. Blacephalon Cole, Weezing Regi. Feeny is also not bad if he gets a Calm Mind off. But I feel like Feeny might be a little bit too passive in this because of the Dragapult and the Glastrier. So yeah, I'm gonna go Weezing Regigigas. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, they go Pheromosa, Incin. This might be a Max Cole game, actually. It's definitely a Mind Blown turn 1. Wait, okay, for a second I thought Pheromosa outsped us. I was like, that'd be bad. Do I even Max here? I could just click Heat Wave. I don't want to waste a turn of Max. No, I'm down to Max. I'm gonna Heat Wave and Volcalith into Pheromosa here. Yep. Nice, we get Mind Blow off. We're super speedy now. We should get the KO here. The thing is, I thought that this was a fair trade. And that actually works out even better because they don't go for like a parting shot. So like now I have... actually, I don't know if that was the best decision because I had Regigigas in the back. And this thing is really useless offensively into my opponent's team. Maybe that wasn't the best play. Maybe I got a little greedy. But the thing is, like, Cole, I think... Actually, I don't know if Volcalith even KOs Incin. Because it's only base, like, what, 110? Oh, but Glastrier comes in, which is, I think, very good for us. So I can just Will-O-Wisp now into Glastrier and go for the... Oh, actually, we should Quake here into Incin instead. That's the one reason to not Quake. We would have won that if I just went Volcalith. That was a bad play. This is interesting, though, because I think late game Regi might be really good here now. I'm just going to Sludge Bomb and Volcalith into Togekiss. I got greedy Quaking. Yeah, Volcalith is always just objectively better there. I mean, you do more damage, obviously, with Quake, but that wasn't smart. This is still fine, though, actually, I think. Because, like, my opponent's not doing much damage in a Weezing right now. I don't really care about your Spadef boosts. I can Heat Wave now. I don't want to proc a policy, right? So we should just Sludge Bomb and Ancient Power into Togekiss. I think that should still be a KO. We actually get the boosts. And we survived because of the boost. That's funny. I wonder if my opponent actually then didn't target... they have a Steel Spike. Okay. But that's fine. Yeah, I don't really... That's fine. Okay, Rock's damage finishes things off. Yeah, I think Reggie closes this one out for us. Although if we had Feeny, it would be a guaranteed win at this point. It actually might be better to not protect here and just go straight for a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, I like that. An Ancient Power into Incin. Because I was thinking they might want to not Fake Out so that they get the boost. But yeah, High Horsepower doesn't really do that much. Now I get the Regigigas in. We can protect. I guess having Reggie in the back here actually wasn't that bad. I mean, I guess we could miss High Horsepower. That's my only fear here. But other than that, we should be good. So, nice. But I kind of really made a big mistake by not going for Ancient Power. Vocalift into the instant switch. You can see, though, that's why I'm running Ancient Power instead. So, let's just Sludge Bomb. I guess I should just Giga Impact here, right? I would think Sludge Bomb Giga Impact is enough. Let's find out. Yeah, Giga Impact finishes it off. Let's go! I do, like, this duo is... It's like one of those combinations where it's like... If you see it, you know exactly what's coming your way, but you still have to show it respect. And that's why I wanted to feature both of these duos, because I think having them on the same team makes it a lot harder to lead. Because normally if you just see like one of these duos and then a bunch of regular Pokemon, you're gonna hone in on, okay, how do I just beat that singular duo? But with this, we have two different things our opponents have to prepare for. It feels more like Blacephalon Cole again. I don't know. I mean, how does my opponent beat that? We could even Dynamax the Coalossal here. Maybe we bring Feeny this time in the back, but Kartana scares me. I'm down to just go Blacephalon Cole, Weezing Urshifu again. Because shutting down these abilities are pretty nice, and the only thing that really threatens the Regigigas is my opponent's Kartana, I would say. And then, like, the fire type should scare away the Kartana. Okay, so it's gonna be Crobat Charizard. Obviously, I'm gonna Mind Blown here, but I do have to make the decision on what to target here with Cole. And whether I even want to max or not, because I might want to conserve the Dynamax for the Regigigas. I don't know if we need a max Regigigas. The only fear, if you have Max Quake, right, you can just Max Quake into Cole. I don't know if that's a knockout. Actually. Mind Blown. The safer play is to Mind Blown and target this. I might not max. Yeah, I think I might want to max Regigigas. So I'm gonna Mind Blow Ancient Power. Okay, they max. Max Guard is ideal here. They don't go for it. So we could have just won turn 1 probably by just targeting the Charizard there, because then we basically pick up a double KO, but I think this is still okay. Because we actually get the boost from Ancient Power, but it's still not enough to survive. Okay. I mean, I can go out into Regigigas now. Switch Blacephalon out into... Like, I just didn't think my opponent would risk it there, because if I just target the Charizard, you know, we're obviously in really, really good shape. So we can switch out now Dynamax and go for Strike onto Charizard. Yeah. The problem is if in that position I go for Vocalith into Charizard, Charizard max guards, and Tailwind goes up. Like, that was my main fear. Okay. Oh, it hangs on with like 1%. Well, that's a little demoralizing, but... And they crit us with Airstream too. But they have Fame from Life Orb at least. Meteor Beam. Wow. Okay, that's cool. But we do have Regigigas out now. And maybe someone can confirm this in the comments below. I'm assuming, like, right now on Showdown, as you saw, we had Slow Start activated, but by switching in Weezing, we instantly shut it down. So I'm assuming that's how it is in-game as well, but maybe someone can confirm that mechanic for me, because I don't know. So we have Blacephalon in the back, Rock Grass, we have Max Quake. I think we just want to knock out this thing. Yeah, wait, I'm down to just Sludge Bomb Max Quake here into Torkoal. Oh, that just one-shots. Hello. Okay, nice. Get Sludge Bomb off. Decent damage. Another Meteor Beam, okay. I respect it, but at this point we have enough damage. We can just Hailstorm and Sludge Bomb. Nice, let's go, Regigigas. I like having the 4 offensive attacks here as well. The thing is that Reggie has basically 6 different types of attacks you can use. Normal, Ground, Dark, Fighting, Ice, and Steel. So it's tough to fit 4, but I like this because you obviously want Max Strike. And then I think Ground is really valuable right now. I think Ice is super valuable, especially because of Landorus T, but also because of the birds. And I like Darkness because it hits the Trick Room users and things like Dusclops, Cresselia, for example. Dracovish gets Sand Rush now, right? I think. So that might be a duo to watch out for. Then it feels like a Weezing Reggie game here, actually. This thing gets Will-O-Wisp, though, I think, right? I need to make a guide on Spectre so I can learn about this Pokemon myself. But I like shutting down the sand here. I don't like this duo at all, so I think we go Urshifu, Tapu Fini as the back. Okay, Lando, T-Tar. Nice. That's fine with me. Let's see if you're max speed or not. I think the safest play here is to protect Dynamax Max Strike into Landorus. Just because I don't want to get Earth Powered right now. And after the Max Strike, we'll definitely outspeed the subsequent turn, to which I can Will-O-Wisp. Best case would be, like, Landorus, like, maxes and quakes into Weezing, and then we just lower its speed. So, I think a lot of people are using Reggie, at least from what I've seen, like, you know, with a lot of bulk or an Assault Vest, and I think that's totally fine, but for me, I was like, I just want to go super offensive with this Pokemon. Okay, they maxed T-Tar, interesting. Oh... I didn't see that one coming. Okay, I mean, we get the one shot there, but Reggie might just go down here. Okay, they Rock Fall into Reggie. Okay, Reggie survives. But the thing is that Lando comes out now, I think. Ah, that was really cool. I could have just Will-O-Wisp there. I didn't need to risk it then. Meh. We still have Urshifu feeding in the back, so this is still far from over. I'm going to try to Will-O-Wisp here into T-Tar and Hailstorm into the Landorus. We survived the Earth Power! Dude, Regigigas is insane. What? How did it survive that? And we hit the Will-O-Wisp. Very nice. They go for Rockfall, but that's fine. Because I have Urshifu now, right? Urshifu Fini, I think, has a pretty good endgame here. Let's go Fini first. Because we want to stall out their Dynamax. Once their Dynamax is over, close combat will just one-shot. I can't believe we survived that Earth Power. That was clutch. Let's see, in this position, I think double protecting is actually fine. Their policy is already activated. I could just attack here as well. What am I afraid of? Is there any reason not? I think double protecting is fine. Let's just stall out their last turn of Dynamax. The only thing is I could sack Weezing to get a free switch in, and that might be valuable in this position. Yeah, they doubled up onto Lafini. Okay. Well, now Fini definitely outspeeds the Tyranitar, right? And so my opponent's in a tricky spot. Yeah, so I think what we can do here is just Sludge Bomb Dracovish and Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, because you can't target both Pokemon right now. So Terrain goes up, but Dazzle does so much damage. That should be the game because we have Urshifu as the last one. Perfect. Wow, this team has actually worked out so much better than I expected it to, and it's a lot of fun. Like, it's just fun using Pokemon like Cole and Blacephalon and Reggie. So, with Black Glasses, Sucker Punch should be a KO, so let's just Sucker Punch and Gleam here. Nice. I love having Black Glasses for that insurance. I was running like Expert Belt at first, but I was like, well, I run Expert Belt. Like, I'm going to try to Wicked Blow with this pretty much every time anyway. So, let's just maximize our damage output. And that obviously, with Black Glasses, it increases the Sucker Punch damage output as well. So, yeah. I do think, though, we haven't run into, like, the more, I would say, standard meta teams that I've been expecting. So, it'd be nice to see how it fares against that. But I guess there's really barely any of a meta right now, given how early it is. Rain here. This feels like Weezing Reggie again. Okay, so this is a harder game to play, I think, because against like these four, I'd want to go Blacelphalon Coalossal, especially against Pheromosa. But don't feel like I can really get away with that. I might go Weezing Reggie, Urshifu, and Primarina again. The thing is, my opponent's team is very like offensive. They don't have much defense, right? But this is what I mean by if I led just Pheromosa Cole. Well, I guess I could have T-Waved us, so yeah. It's not like we would have had a guaranteed winning position. This is not great. I want to Dynamax Regigigas though, I think. And I think like Thundurus is likely Life Orb, Pheromosa is likely Sash. I guess I could see this Dynamaxing. You could like Airstream, High Jump Kick into the Regigigas. I want to Will-O-Wisp Pheromosa. Actually, maybe just Sludge Bomb. Like, Sludge Bomb, Dynamax, Hailstorm. Yeah, they Dynamax that. Okay. Actually, if you double up into either here, we're... Oh. Okay. I have to say, I didn't expect that, but this is actually not an awful outcome for us, I think. But if I like doubled up into Thundurus there, maybe we could have just picked up a KO. Coaching! Wow, that's really interesting. Very cool. I like that a lot. You can't pick up a double knockout here. This might have Max Knuckle, but that's fine, I think. Urshifu Fini is very good against my opponent in this endgame. So I think like that's still our win condition here. What do I want to do? Is it valuable protecting here? I don't know if it is. I'm just gonna Sludge Bomb and Hailstorm Thundurus. I could see them going Coaching Max Knuckle. Oh, that was a good play. Oh, that was a very good play. That would have been a reason to protect. Just, okay. Oh, I don't know how much Black Glass's Sucker Punch does into Thundurus. Is it Life Orb? It's not Life Orb either. Man, I should have seen that coming. I could protect here. The thing is that then you still get a +2 Airstream into us. I don't know the Sucker Punch calc. I mean, Thundurus' defense isn't that great. I kind of want to go for it. Let's learn. Let's find out. So we can Sucker Punch here, and I'd best get a boost here. Oh, it hangs on with like 1%, unfortunately. Oh, but they went Max Lightning into Reggie. Interesting. They didn't split they split their attacks there. Okay, well that's actually a huge deal, because Urshifu sticking around is very good against my opponent's team. But Coaching Pheromosa is really cool. I know some people have been trying that out, and I just like didn't even think about that as a possibility. Ludi is the last one, so I think this is still pretty tough, but I can at least protect here. Get impact into the Ludicolo. Okay, they fake out into us. And they double up an Urshifu. Okay. I think I can just Sucker Punch here. They do have Protect, though. Oh! Do we survive? With the Spadef boost? We do. Oh my goodness. That's why I max clicked earlier, by the way. It's small decisions like that that can go a long way in helping you win a match. Like, always think, what is my best option on a given turn? Even if you're going to guaranteed pick up a knockout, think about the boosts or the drops that you might get from the opposing side. What does my opponent do here? I think they go for a double Protect on the Ludicolo. So I could Sucker Punch and Ice Punch. They don't go for the double, actually. Okay, that should be game then. Fini should win this. Nice. Let's go. This thing is really bulky, even when it has no actual bulk. But I do think my opponent would have won this if they just targeted the Urshifu. I get why they max Lightning, though, because they wanted damage onto Regigigas. If anything, this game highlights that Regigigas could still be a pretty big threat, even when it's not Dynamax and it loses slow start. Or it's slow started. I didn't expect it to be so good in that last game. So, yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with this team. You know, I wanted to feature all of, like, the brand new Pokemon. We haven't done that yet, but we've gotten, like, the main ones off the checklist, right? Like Regieleki, Glastrier, Galarian Moltres. I'm so mad at myself because I didn't include Galarian Moltres in that intro to the VGC Series 7 rules. And I feel so dumb for that. Like, I was just basing it off of, like, usage stats from the very first 2 days, and it seemed like people were tending towards the other 2 birds, but I'm upset at myself for not getting that. Okay, last game of the day. We've had a very, very nice set of games, but we've also run into pretty positive matchups. That being said, the reason why I think we're running into positive matchups is because not many people are preparing for these duos. Eventually, I think, you know, this reminds me of, like, Belly Jump Snorlax stuff, right? Where it's like, you could counter it with the right Pokemon. Heatran here is a big problem. I think we go with the Regi route here, but what I'm worried about is the Kartana and the Urshifu here, so I gotta say I'm not the biggest fan of this matchup. I think I don't go Blacephalon Coal and I just go Urshifu Feeny. Yeah, but Blacephalon Coal could be decent. Like, I hate going up into Feeny and the Heatran here. Great lead by my opponent with the Urshifu. But I've got Will-O-Wisp. How do I want to play this out turn 1? I really want to Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu. I'm down to Will-O-Wisp, Dynamax, and, like, Max Strike into Crest. Wait, we're that was dumb. I forgot. We're faster here. Oh, but then I should get the Will-O-Wisp first, right? Yeah, because I have investment on Weezing. Nice. That's why I like having speed on that. Okay, huge. That's actually amazing for us. Like, because I can just Max Strike the Cresselia Sludge Bomb again here. Sorry about that. I really need to turn my phone onto silent when I start playing games. I don't know if Sludge Bomb KOs here. Probably doesn't, right? Yeah. I don't know if that was the best play on my end then. Because, like, no, that was a bad play. I got to, like, we were in such a commanding position after turn 1. All I need to do is Max Strike Urshifu, taunt the Cresselia, because Cresselia is never doing any damage in a Regigigas, so that was a really careless mistake on my end. And I'm very sad about that. It's okay. We can go into Urshifu. They go into Heatran, which is fine, because I have Feeny in the back as well. I can Sludge Bomb into Urshifu and just close combat into Heatran, although there might be reason to go for Wicked Blow here, so I don't get the drop. No, I like just maximizing my damage output here. Wow, they don't protect! Or Dynamax! Why bring out Heatran there, then? I guess they wanted to cover for the Blacephalon Coal stuff. So, that was kind of a team preview diff. Alright, let's play one last game. Yeah, I have to say, I am really happy about the performance of this team today. How many games have we played? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tailwind might be a problem here, but I can shut down the Prankster with Weezing, which is pretty good here. I could go Blacephalon Coal, but Entei is scary. So let's go Regigigas here. That last game could have been clean, better played on my end too, because I have Taunt on this thing. So Weezing, Regi, Feeny, Urshifu again. I'm tending towards this a lot in the latter games, but like I feel like they're just really good. If I'm not leading Blacephalon Coal, it's like too offensive in the late game, I think. Like it's maybe a little bit too explosive for me to feel comfortable with. So let's go with this. Okay, key takeaways though that I've learned today. This duo is actually legit. Like Weezing and Regi is something you actually have to watch out for, because okay, Regigigas with its slow start disabled and Dynamax, like one-shot so many things. And our Life Orb Giga Impact earlier did, what, 94% to a Ludicolo, even when slow started. I was going to say Metagross might be a problem here, but like I literally built this team to try to beat Metagross as hard as possible, so if we're losing to it, I am playing incorrectly, because naturally Blacephalon Coalossal should scare away Metagross right from Team Preview, but even if it comes out, I had Fast Weezing for Will-O-Wisp. And that last game actually showed how you can combo Regi Max Strike into Will-O-Wisp as well. Like base 100 speed in the format right now is actually pretty solid. Yeah, like a lot of the Pokemon right now that people are using are like somewhat slow. You know, in like VGC 2020, you obviously had like your Cinderaces and your Dragapults that players were tending towards. And those Pokemon still exist in the format, but it doesn't feel as centered around like go first, go first, go first. Either through really fast Pokemon or Tailwind, for example. Okay, so we go Weezing, Regi, it's Urshifu, Whimsicott. Yeah, this is not bad. I mean, they might Tailwind CC here. I can Max Strike Sludge Bomb turn 1. Honestly seems not bad to me. Or Tailwind's still gonna go first, so like Tailwind close combat's guaranteed here. I have Will-O-Wisp. I could even switch out an Afini, which is like somewhat tempting. It might be better. I don't want to play that passively though. I'm down to just Sludge Bomb, Dynamax, and Max Strike. Because like Whimsicott, oh, I didn't think about that. That was really good. Well done on my opponent's end. That would have been a reason to go for the Hailstorm there. That was a perfect switch in. So that's really bad. I think this gets access to Will-O-Wisp. So I'm actually going to switch out an Afini. I know that gets rid of our... I mean, I know that activates Slow Start, but I think that's still fine. And I'm going to go for a Hailstorm onto Whimsicott because I have Sucker Punch on this thing for the Spectrier later on. They Protect. Okay, that's fine by me. And they Taunt. Yeah, that's actually a great turn then for us, but... This is, like I said, why it might have been better to play more passively early on. I just didn't consider that switch, though, and that was my bad. Like, that was just really well done. And that means my turn 1 play was not optimal, because if I'm not covering for a switch in like that, I'm doing something wrong. They bring out Urshifu back in. I'm taunted, but how do you beat the Feeny here? Can't I just go Dazzle, Max Strike? That feels pretty good here, honestly. Oh, okay. Well, that procs are Berry, but I think they're probably going to Wicked Blow with the defense drop. I would think that's enough for a KO. Ah, but they target Regigigas. Okay, well then I feel like we're actually not in terrible shape. Because I knock you out, you're maxed, but I have Sucker Punch Black Glasses. So, that feels okay to me. Zapdos is the last one. It's not great. I don't know if Sucker Punch KO Spectrier. That's the other problem, I guess. What do you do here if you're my opponent? Max Phantasm into Tapu Fini, Thunderbolt into Urshifu. I want to learn this calc. I don't think Sucker Punch KOs, but let's find out. Oh, they just Max Guard. Okay. But they go for Hurricane. It's unfortunate because, like, Hurricane's, like, the best flying attack you get. You could use Air Slash for more consistency, but obviously that's a huge miss. Question, though, is now whether you go for another... I think we actually now target the Zapdos. Yeah. Our play here is to Dazzle and Wicked Blow to just KO Zapdos. Yeah, because they're going to try to Max Guard again. But we won that off the miss, obviously. I think if Hurricane hits there, we should just lose that game because Urshifu is my win con there, so definitely got lucky there. But that's one consideration to use Air Slash over Hurricane for Zapdos. You know, it's always about trade-offs, but I can definitely see why people would want to use Hurricane. Like, I used Hurricane on a lot of my Pokemon, especially because you want to Dynamax and get Max Airstreams with it, and it's just really, really powerful. So, yeah, we should lose it the majority of the time, and I think my opponent played this really well, where the Spectre switching was brilliant turn 1, the Dynamax I didn't expect as well, and that was really cool. But, yeah. That was a really fun set of games. Like, I threw this team together in the last hour, and I thought it would be enjoyable. I didn't know how good it could be, but I think it actually has a lot more potential than I initially thought it would be. So, I'm looking forward to playing with this team in-game. So, yeah. Thank you, as always, for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, guys, and let me know the question of the day. What Pokemon do you think is slept on? After this episode, I gotta say it's Weezing and Regigigas. Like, that's my answer. So, yeah, appreciate everyone's support. We'll be back in-game in just a couple of days, and I'll see you all soon. All right, peace.